because I have a mindset of a winner. I have a mindset that things will work out. I have a mindset that I'm going to help people.
How would one develop strategy about what they are doing? Because somebody might say, now, okay, they say I should be doing video, so I will be doing video, put it in everywhere, anyhow. So I believe that you have...
Not anyhow, but not anyhow. Our next event, we have someone coming in from Australia. It's a small world, right? If you want to do something, you just travel to the next country and do it. So yeah, so we're going to be having more and more people from overseas actually speaking on our stage as well.
So thank you so much, Eric, for joining us in this conversation. Again, we are honored because the last time you were here, and having you here again is something that is really very beautiful for us. So let's pretend that there's somebody who here do not know who Eric is. So why don't you spend a few seconds just say something about yourself. Please go.
Okay. Well, I'm a sales and leadership coach. So for the last 15 years or so, I've been helping entrepreneurs boost their sales without being pushy or salesy. And I help entrepreneurs in different ways, and I'm sure we'll get into that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And today we are looking at the argument of visibility, because if you want to be in sales, if you want to sell something, which of course all of us are sales from birth, no? Because your child needs to sell something for you, otherwise he's going to die of hunger, no? Yes. All right. So if visibility, looking at it generally, Eric, what would you say that people need to know about it? Because that is the general topic that we're talking about today. And of course, then we'll look into some of the strategy and all of that.
Sure. Well, it's important to know that regardless of how good your product is or your service, you need people to see it, right? You can have the best tires in the world, right? But if you're selling it on a desert where no one's driving by, you won't make any money, right? So that's why visibility is so crucial in business. We must spend at least 80% of our time, especially if you're a newer business, promoting yourself and promoting your business and your brand.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, do you think people might have some challenges about being able to be on air or being able to be visible to other people sometime? Do you see some challenges that people might be having within that line?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I think naturally we feel that if I go out there and I tell people what I do, then I'm exposing myself to criticism. So there are people that are afraid to maybe get on social media or to do a video or even do a podcast like this, just because they may have the mindset that they're not good enough yet, right? They're not good enough or they're not successful enough. But what they need to realize is you have to start somewhere, right? You can't start where you want to end up, right? You have to start somewhere. So I do see a lot of people with that challenge, but it's important to change your mindset to realize that people have to see you, and you may not be where you want to be right now, but wherever you are, you have to start.
That's interesting. I think Martin Luther King was saying, okay, this might be out of the conversation today, but I think it's also important that you don't need to say, okay, I'm not on the mountain, you cannot walk. No, you might walk where you are. If you cannot walk, if you cannot run, walk if you can walk. If you cannot walk, crawl if you can crawl, but be part of it. No?
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. You see, there are some people, for example, that I know in business who might say, well, I'm in business, but I don't love sales. I don't know, Eric, have you ever heard something like that?
Oh, I hear it every day. Every day. Like some people, they would say, well, Eric, I'm not a salesman. I'm an entrepreneur, right? I don't really like to sell. I said, well, if you're an entrepreneur, you are in sales, because people need to see what you're doing. They need to understand the value of what you have. And if they don't, then they won't buy it. So, selling is service. If you're not selling, you're not serving anybody.
Absolutely. Because like you said, you have a beautiful product, which could be maybe a physical product or invisible product, no? A service, you design it very beautiful, but you keep it only to yourself. That is it's not serving anybody.
Exactly. It's not serving anybody. Exactly.
But is it possible that that mentality is coming from somewhere? Why do people have that as a kind of a justification?
Well, I think it's because people believe in certain myths. One myth is you're born with the sales skills. And if you know my story, I wasn't born with any kind of sales skills. In fact, my first job, my first sales job, I didn't want a sales job. I wanted to be in marketing behind the scenes, and they put me in sales, right? And I didn't want to. I didn't like salespeople. I said I don't even like salespeople. Why would I be a salesman, man? Because a lot of people think that to sell means I'm getting you to buy something you don't need so I can make money. That's what a lot of people think sales is. But really what sales is persuading someone to buy something they need, right? So it can benefit them or solve their problem. That's what sales is. And when you change your mindset to what sales is, you're more comfortable selling. One example I like to give is if I tell you to call an acquaintance of yours, someone that you've known for years, and call them and say, okay, I need $500. Can you give me $500 today? Now, before you make that call, you'll be very nervous, right? But if I tell you to call the same person and say, hey, I feel like blessing someone today, so I'm going to give you $500. You'll be glad to make the call, right? You won't have any nervousness at all. The difference in those two scenarios is the first scenario you're taking, the second scenario you're giving. If you change your mindset to realize that you're actually helping people and you're giving, then you'll be able to make more sales instead of thinking that I'm just taking somebody's money.
That's reframing, and that's very important now. Even with the story that we are telling ourselves, because a story we come around all the time. I was reading somewhere, somebody was saying, if you believe you can do it, you are right. But if you believe you cannot do it, you are also right. Which is sort of put us in the situation now, which is to say, okay, it's not already made. You are the one that is making it. Whatever you choose to make is what it will be. If you choose to do nothing, it will become nothing. It's all about you. So within sales, what would that mean? What would that mean, Eric? If we believe that we can make sales and we put on the work, we will be able to make sales. But we can believe that we cannot do it and we are not putting on the effort, we will not do it.
Yeah, well, like you said, you have to reframe the mind. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself and believe in your service or your product, right? If you don't, you will not be able to sell effectively, right? I tell people that if you don't believe in what you're doing, people will talk you out of doing it. Yeah, you'll find yourself being talked out of selling your own product, right? I'll tell you a little story. So as you know, I have this studio that I in North Carolina where people come in to speak about their product, their business, and to give a lot of advice. And when I came up with the idea of doing these studio events, I told someone I know who is a very successful lady, very successful lady. I figured I'll find out what she feels about it. And she told me that she doesn't think any speaker will actually pay to come to speak on my stage because most speakers, they want to be paid, right? So, I was telling her that, well, my stage is a little different because I'm giving them, notoriety, and I'm giving them the credibility. I'm giving them a place to share their offer and their business and all these things I'm giving them. But she disagreed. Well, so I had a choice. I could decide to just listen to her and not start, or I can decide to do it anyway. And I did it anyway because I have a mindset of a winner. I have a mindset that things will work out. I have a mindset that I'm going to help people. It's going to be a household name. I have that mindset. So it doesn't matter what somebody says, right? And in about within 7-8 months, I already have 15 testimonials on our website, right? So I'm helping a lot of people, right? So the most important thing I think is you're working on yourself. Believing in yourself. It doesn't matter what people out there say, you have to believe in yourself.
Thank you so much for that, Eric. Now tell us a little bit about your studio. What is happening there? Because that is a curtain. Now people don't know what is inside the curtain.
Yes. So as I said, I've been a sales coach for many years, and I promoted my business on podcasts like this. I promoted my business and online summits, and anywhere I could. But then I went to an event with Anthony Robbins, and I'm sure you know who Anthony Robbins is. And he spoke on a big stage with a big life-size Zooms, those Zooms that are like over 6 feet tall. and people like Lisa Nichols, and he had some people talk there. And I said, wow, I need to speak on this stage. I need to speak on a stage like this. So I did my first studio event, and I spoke on a studio event. And, I think I got like 7 times the number of people that ended up buying my product, my offer. And then I started inviting other coaches and course creators and authors. One of the ladies that just spoke, her name is Sylvia. She became a best-selling author right after she spoke on our stage. We've had several speakers that got business from that. They were able to get a lot more followers. So I'm really helping a lot of people that are maybe frustrated with where they are in their business and they want to go to another level. We bring them to our studio, and they learn a lot more. So, and obviously it's hard to describe everything, but studiospeaking.com is the website, studiospeaking.com. That's where they can find out, everything about what I do. Our next event, we have someone coming in from Australia. So, for me, we are in a world where it's a small world, right? If you want to do something, you just travel to the next country and do it. So yeah, so we're going to be having more and more people from overseas actually speaking on our stage as well.
The story. Tell us a bit about the origin of this idea. Where is it coming from? Why did you decide to set up this studio? Despite the fact that you speak to somebody and the person is trying to discourage you, yet you went ahead with it.
Because I see a need. Right? They say how to build a successful business is to find a need and fill it. I saw a huge need. I saw how it benefited me, and I knew it would benefit other people. Zig Ziglar said many years ago, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll have everything you want in life. And that's been true for me all my life, right? I see a need and I go for it. And don't let anything stop me, because there are a lot of, you have to understand, most people think negatively. Most people won't believe in your dream, right? The easiest way to kill your big dream is to share it with a small mind, right? You can't go around asking everybody's opinion on what you want to do. You just go out and do it, and they may not even see it for you. And I tell people, well, like, if someone doesn't see it, it's okay. God gave you the dream. He didn't give that person the dream, right? So you just have to go for it. Like, you have a successful podcast. People listen to you all over the world. And now some people, they'll say, well, I want to start a podcast, but I don't know if anybody will watch me. Well, you'll never know if you don't start. Right? You'll never know if you don't start, right? So yeah, it's I have this coaching program I do in sales, and my first week is all about mindset. So when people see that, they're like, wait, do we have to spend a whole week on this stuff? I said, yeah, because if you don't have the right mindset, the strategies won't matter. The strategies won't matter. The skill set of selling won't matter if you don't have the right mindset that backs it. Right, that's so important.
Yesterday, I was in a call with a number of people because we are trying to develop a project in Nigeria, and we're going to be looking at it to cassava production. So we are talking to different stakeholders there. So we're having a meeting tomorrow where we'll be knowing ourselves. So that I'm telling them yesterday the conversation that, listen, it doesn't mean just because we are starting out, money is just going to be flowing around. But first of all, we even need to know, what do we want? And we sort of build up the idea that it can work for us. Of course, why can't it work for us? Nigeria is the world leading producer of cassava. There is no way why we cannot make money out of it. It's already there. Then I was talking to our Italian partner, letting them know that, do you know that Nigeria is the world leading producer of cassava? Then this person was sort of asking, but what can you do with cassava? I said, you don't know what we can do with cassava? Listen, let me tell you. Then I started to list out different things that they can do with cassava. So the mindset is already building. The confidence is already building. So by the time we put in effort in it, you see that the result will come out. And we are confident that it's going to work. You see, you were saying something really very important there, Eric, that when God gives you the mission that's supposed to execute in this world, He didn't give to another person. So you don't want to say that, oh, they don't believe me. No, it's not about them. You need to believe it. They will tell you, don't do it. You will say, I will do it. So I don't think we need other people to validate us. Now, there is a professor of transportation psychology that I've interviewed a number of times in this podcast, and he will say, Africans, we need to start looking for validation from other people, because any person that can validate you can also invalidate you. So you better validate yourself, not other people.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
All right.
That's
Thank you
true.
so much for that.
No problem.
We're talking about visibility. Are there strategy for us to be visible in online environment? Let's look at it this way, because most of the people that are listening to you right now, they are not where you are physically. They might be in London, in Canada, even in the United States where you are, but they're looking for a way to be visible. But are there some tips, some strategy to share with us?
Absolutely, absolutely. The number one way to become more visible is to have a social media presence. For me, I had been, a sales coach for many years before I got on social media. And I was thinking, do I really need it? And someone told me that if you're not on social media, you're hurting your business. No matter how good you are, like you can be 10 times better on social media. So what you want to do is you want to definitely get on social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, somewhere. And then you want to share valuable information on a daily basis. People say, well, do I have to do it daily? Well, you want to generate business daily, right? So for me, I share content every day on all my social media platforms. And if let's say you do a video, you can just put the video on all, different platforms. So it's not like you have to do it again, right? But it's important for people to know what you're doing. And when you do it, obviously you have to give value. You can't just sell every day. You have to actually give valuable information so people keep tuning into what you do.
Thank you for that. Now, I'm seeing strategy in what you're saying. So I am asking you to expand on that. How would one develop strategy about what they are doing? Because somebody might say, now, okay, they say I should be doing video, so I will be doing video, put it in everywhere, anyhow. So I believe that you have...
Not anyhow, but not anyhow.
Okay, what you want to say something about that is that how do you develop the strategy around what you are doing so that it can have a coherent idea and somebody can look at you on Instagram or look at you on Facebook, look at you on YouTube, they say it is the same person, something like that.
Yes, so that's mainly branding, right? So you have to have your core message. People that follow me know that I'm going to talk about sales, I'm going to talk about marketing, I'm going to talk about being visible, right? They know what they're going to get, right? Wherever they see me, right? And then you do it in a way that people, I call it bite-sized information, right? So I do short videos. The longer ones are like these podcasts, but I like to do short videos where people can get the information quickly. And here's the thing. Start where you are. When I started, I was just on LinkedIn and I was doing one video maybe every 3 days on LinkedIn. Okay. And then I started doing more. And then I started an Instagram page, right? So don't compare yourself to people that are at chapter 10 if you're at chapter 1. Okay. Just start somewhere, right? Just start somewhere. And then it grows from there. Success begets success. You have success one place, then you can start somewhere else, and then it grows.
Sometimes also the confidence is important. Sometimes, okay, I'm not talking of the vanity metrics, not how many people like you and all of that, how many people comment, but sometimes we need to have the confidence also with time. Okay, what I mean is this. You see, I do video today. I'm just going to be doing a video for a company. They just contacted me. Something of a few minutes. Okay, I'm not going to be saying how much I'm charging them for that, no. But this is not something I didn't really learn anywhere. Okay, I also did a video course with New York Film School Direct online, but that is not really where I got my skill. Where I got my skill is from the YouTube University. I went online to learn for myself. There was a time I didn't know anything. When I left Nigeria, I come to Italy. I know nothing about video. Until one day, somebody just gave me as a gift an old computer that cannot even do video. But it's okay for me. I'm an amateur. I don't know anything. But I was really fascinated about the idea that I could put a picture, put a sound, everything mixed together, they become a file. That was really very interesting for me. So I was learning everything I could, looking at other people. But at a point, I got the confidence. I can tell somebody, hey, I can do this for you. And I can charge you this social amount of money to do this work for you. The validation also come at the end of the day that the person say, okay, yes, I like what you do. Or maybe I show the person, this is what I can do. Would you like me to do what I've done for myself for you? If that is okay, that is the only validation that I need, though. That I create the product, I put it in the market tells me whether they like it or not. If they like it, immediately the job is okay. I don't need to be the best guy in the world now, but at least I know I can satisfy my audience. So the question I want to ask you there, Eric, is at what point did you build your confidence in your, okay, I know you have been in sales forever. I know that because you shared this story before. But on social media, especially in this case, at what point did you build your confidence that what you were doing on LinkedIn was working for you?
All right, so I'll share this. I know we have just a couple minutes left, so I'll be quick. First of all, I took a class just like you did. Like, get the training. I'll tell people, get the training. Don't just wing it, right? Even if you start on YouTube. So I took a class teaching me how to do videos. So I learned how to do it the right way, right? And then as I did it, as I said, success begets success. I do a video, maybe I get 5 people to look at it. That's okay. The next time, maybe 20 people. That gives me a little more confidence, right? So then I do another one, right? So what happens is the success comes along the way. It doesn't happen right away, right? So if you've done 10 videos and you don't have anybody looking at it yet, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean you're a failure. You're just at the beginning. I mean, you have 20-something thousand people on your LinkedIn, right? You didn't start with that. You started with 1. I know you started with 1, even though I wasn't there.
Absolutely. Sometimes there was 0. There was zero.
So it's a process. You have to be patient throughout the process.
Thank you so much for the time, Eric. I really appreciate your time. So how would you like to conclude the conversation and let people know how to find you?
Whatever you're doing, whatever your offer is, whatever you're selling, you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, borrow my belief in you. You can do it. All right. And for those of you that want to speak on a big stage, and you're willing to come to America, then contact me, studiospeaking.com. Learn, you can see some of the videos of other speakers that have been on my stage. I'd love to speak with you and see if it will be a good fit. I am looking for people, especially in 2025, to share, to promote on my stage. All right. So yeah, that's what I want to share. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Eric. It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. I will wish you a lot of success in your journey. Thank you.